Hey everyone, let's get started. So welcome to our refinance tools. We're going to start by going over three sections today. We're going to go over the refinance monitor. There's two of them that are in there, so there's different ways that you can look at those. We're also going to look at some standard refi rate alerts. And then we're going to break that down into the refinance analysis tool that you can send directly to your customers. I wanted to start by talking about finishing your data in your system. So where it's pulling from is it's pulling from the funded category in our system. As you can see, these have rates in them. If they don't have rates, you need to make sure that you've got rates in your specific client's account, and they need to have a funded date. Otherwise, the tools that it uses won't be able to pull those. So if I go in here, I can very easily go into mortgage info, and I can put in the funded date for when the loan closed. Here's where the rate is. So let's say this funded 10/2. And that's key because the way some of our things work is they're going to be asking you, how long do you want them in the loan for them to do that? So first, we want to make sure that our stuff is turned on. So we're going to jump over here to our modules. And in modules, if you scroll down here to the rate refi miner right here, you're just going to want to make sure that this is active in your system. It doesn't cost you anything. It comes with the system. Right now, I would be deactivating mine. If you have questions and you want a detailed breakdown, we've got our breakdown of how everything's going to work, or you can reference back to this video and watch this video as well. So I'm going to jump over to marketing. If I slide across the top here, I'm going to go to rate refi, and here's where all my alerts are coming in. So this is pulling different alerts in based upon the refinance opportunities. And then you can always click on the borrowers themselves by going to the blue part. But if you want to configure the alerts, you can do that. You'll see these are all the alerts that are running in the system. One thing is you need to make sure that your programs are correct as well. This says 25 years, 30 years, 35 years, 40 years. So in the program, it's going to look for 35 years. For instance, I use the term C30 for my conventional. I use VA 30. So that's no problem. You can still use those terms, and that's what you're doing. You're just going to want to go in here and edit these. If I wanted to do that, I could go to this right here, and this is going to pull that 40-year term still. And I'm going to go in and add, you know what, I want to pull C30 too, because I might have that. In the next one down, if I click apply, that'll change that permanently. If I wanted to do it for the FHA, I could have like FHA 30, I could have FHA 15, stuff like that. So if you use different codes, just make sure that those codes are in these alerts that you're doing. You can update the rates. This is going to update every night. So if you want to run a test on it, you can do that and test the system and see what comes back if you do that. If I jump over here to my dashboard, we can jump into the alerts category. Under the alerts category, you have several different alerts. We're going to focus on the refinance monitor and the rate opportunity monitor. So this is the one we were just on. There's several things that you can do with them from here. You could say, you know what, I don't want this alert anymore. On this one, I would like to dismiss them. If you want to attack them from this perspective, you'll be able to do a lot more. So if I go in here, I can send an email. I could send them a quick text message if I want. I could even go into the tracker and say, you know what, I picked up the phone call, not ready for 6 months. I can then share this with participants if I want, just like I can in the regular tracker. You can adjust how you want to see these come to you. So you can go in here and say, look, this is how I want my alerts and notifications to be sent to me. First of all, the refinance alerts, you can decide how long you want the prepay. Do you want it 60 days from expiring? Do you want it 6 months from expiring? You decide what you want this to be. How long do you want them in the loan? Do you want them in there 6 months? Do you want them in there a year? You can change that parameter. What difference do you want from the current rate? So if you wanted a half a point, if you wanted a full point, you could decide that. You can go in here. We have ours in our system. We check the rates for the national average. So this is going to pull the national average and give you rates based upon that, or you can adjust them manually by yourself. It just depends on what you're more interested in. And as you know, usually we can beat the national average when we're looking at our clients. So you can go in here, and this is kind of how you want the alerts to be sent to you. Do you want them emailed? Do you want email portal documents? Do you want to have specific reports sent to you? You can decide which reports you want. And then you could always have them texted to you if you want as well. and this will send you text reminders. Next, we're going to jump back to Chris here. I want to do something with this refinance, so I'm going to create a refinance analysis. So any refinance analysis that I've had in the past are going to be right here. Maybe I'd like to create a new one so I can show this to them on their portal, in the borrower's portal if you're using that, or I can also email it to them. But in this case, I want to start a new one. So I'm going to call this a cash out, and I'm going to call it a C30. Loan amount's going to be 500,000. This is all pulling from your system, showing the stuff that you've put in there already. I'm going to say the loan cost is going to be 7,500 bucks. This is pulling directly from here. So I'm going to add the closing cost plus 50,000 and a little bit more. So we're just going to say we're going to make a 550,000. We're going to put the rate at 6.25. It's going to calculate all that for you. Taxes and insurance, 450 bucks. So we're going to calculate that. It's going to update your numbers here. And then you can always preview and send this to the clients. If you want to do something extra, let's say you wanted to record a video of you going through this. Don't forget you can record videos right in our system. You can then send this to the client, and that's the analysis and how it's going to go out. And you can go through and point out specific things and add other things to the email as well.